Welcome back. All right, we might be to the point where I just leave the logos on the board. Where I just leave all the logos on the board and just say forget it. There's a lot of news. There's going to be a lot of news over the next couple of weeks. So starting things off with Connor Hellebuyck. So he said he would talk about this once the training camp got started, and he's a man of his word, saying he's open-minded. He's heard all the crazy rumors all summer. He disagrees with the crazy rumors. Says the idea he's not going to stay in Winnipeg is incorrect. He does say he's open-minded to anything at this point, but that includes an extension. So he's not saying he's not ruling out the idea of leaving. He's just saying he's not ruling out an extension either. And again, fans seem to jump on that, right? That a player goes, well, maybe I could move on. Maybe I'll stick around. And the fans and media especially, seem to respond with, "Do you hear that? He says he's going to leave." No, he didn't. He didn't say that. And Mark Scheifele says that his contract has not been on his mind at all. He's not really been thinking about the fact he's on an expiring contract, which, if you're a star player in the National Hockey League, why would you? He's 30 years of age, and, for him, he knows he's going to get a contract next summer, whether that's in Winnipeg or not. It's not really up to him. And, the stress really is for the team. The stress is, of course, for us as fans when we see players could potentially be leaving. But for those players, there really isn't any stress involved. If you can sign a contract where you are, you do. And if you can't, there will be plenty of other teams looking to sign you, especially a summer where the salary cap should finally be going up. That flat cap should be going away. The team also has signed Colby Barlow to an entry-level contract. He was the first-round draft pick this past June, and I do believe that he could end up being the steal from that draft. We shall see. Barlow, everything about his game says he's going to be a National Hockey League player, and he could be a very good one as well. So glad to see him get his entry-level contract with the Winnipeg Jets. Marc-Andre Fleury asked about his future. Kind of a predictable response from Fleury, and that he has said he will decide his future after this season's played out. Basically, he's 38 years of age. He wants to see how his body responds to the punishment of going through that schedule again. And if he feels good at the end of it, then he'll probably come back. And if he doesn't feel good at the end of it, then that might be the end of it for him. I would think there's probably... I would lean towards a 60-40 if I was trying to predict. I would say that he probably retires at the end of this season. But, Fleury's been around for a long time. He's played quite a few games. I wouldn't be entirely surprised if he sticks around, but I think it's going to depend on the opportunity and, again, how this season goes. Vancouver, Ilya Mikheyev, who's still dealing with injury as well. He has left the team for personal reasons. I didn't see any clarification of what those personal reasons are. I hope everything's good with him. When a person leaves training camp for personal reasons, it very often is family related. There's something going on there. So hopefully everything's okay for Mikheyev, a player that the Canucks are going to want at 100% to start the season. They're going to want to see this lineup play itself out with everybody healthy. And again, the conversation in Vancouver seems to be one that everything has to go the right way for the Canucks to make the playoffs. That is so much more realistic than some of the previous years we've had with Vancouver where it's, no, they'll make it. I made that mistake last summer myself, but I will agree. If everything goes right, the Canucks can make the playoffs this year. Realistic point of view on that. Robin Lehner will start the season on LTIR, and again, with Lehner, this is a question I get a lot when I see people in person. So where's Lehner? I don't know. I don't know where Lehner's at. I know Lehner hasn't played for quite some time. Lehner will start the season on long-term injured reserve, considering the cap situation that Vegas usually finds themselves in. I don't think they'll be necessarily too upset about that because, of course, Hill showed in the playoffs what he could do, and they've still got Logan Thompson there as well. So they've already got goaltenders that they know can give them good goaltending when they need it. So Lehner being out, I mean, I feel bad for Lehner because he's been a good goaltender through most of his career, but for Vegas, honestly, him being on LTIR, it does help them out, which is probably why the question's out there quite often. Miramanov is out long-term with an injury from last year, which I couldn't find any disclosure on what that injury is. So Miramanov, a player who is likely a depth player for them when healthy, not healthy to start the year, and so he'll likely be thrown on LTIR as well as with Lehner. Interesting with the Edmonton Oilers, this was a conversation piece when they signed Connor Brown. Would he play with McDavid? The answer is to start training camp, yes. So he's playing with Evander Kane and Connor McDavid at camp. Again, if you can get 3 lines and you can have them centered by McDavid, Draisaitl, and Nugent-Hopkins, that's a pretty solid center spot for the Oilers. And so it's a matter of getting that production from the wingers and having the wingers that can make that work. And so in the event that Connor Brown works on that line with McDavid and he's 100% good to go, and if you can get Draisaitl centering a line as well with a couple of good wingers, and then you do that with Nugent-Hopkins, they might be more dangerous 5-on-5 than last season. I don't think their power play can be more dangerous, but if they're more dangerous 5-on-5, that's bad news for everybody. It's really bad news for everybody, and they'll easily eclipse 4 goals per game this season. They might approach 4.5 if they can get 3 scoring lines, and if that power play stays lethal this year. Logan Couture is week to week for the San Jose Sharks. It's a lower body injury for him. Not a lot expected with San Jose, but of course you have to have Couture, you have to have Hertl down the middle. It is the one spot on the team where you can go, yeah, that's not bad. Logan Couture and Thomas Hertl down the middle is good, but without Couture, that's going to put more pressure on whoever has to jump into that spot in the roster. Again, I did that video on San Jose yesterday. It is a tough schedule to start the season for the Sharks. Really, really tough schedule. Jake Guentzel, dealing with a knee injury, or ankle injury, I should say. He skated today, so that's good news. If you can skate on that ankle, you're not that far off. But there's no word on a return date yet. So it's not likely not going to be during the preseason, or at the very least not during the first week or so. We'll see how he does, though. And again, there's no rush with Guentzel. You want to make sure he's good to go when he's ready, and don't rush somebody back from an ankle injury. So all the best to Guentzel on that. I also wanted to throw into this video that last night Cool Hockey made the Centennial jerseys available for the Boston Bruins. The black version, the white version, of course, the cream-colored third jersey as well. This being a big year for the Boston Bruins, celebrating that 100 years as Toronto has previously, as Montreal did previously as well. But with the 3 Centennial jerseys, the bar has been raised a little bit. So I'll be interested to see what Chicago does when they reach their Centennial a couple of years down the road here. And Detroit has a Centennial coming up too. So looking forward to seeing what they do. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always, about any of the items on this board. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And remember, it is training camp. There's going to be a lot of news out of a lot of teams. And I'll do my best to be here when that news breaks. I also wanted to throw in here too, I was planning on having a meetup on Saturday this week. It doesn't look like the weather's going to cooperate. I'm probably going to have to cancel that meetup this weekend because it looks like it's just going to be rain. It was originally scattered showers and it was going to be later in the day, and I thought, all right, scattered showers, not a big deal. Later in the day should be fine. But it looks like it's going to be more substantial, and now it's just saying rain. And instead of 30% chance, it's up to 80%. So in this area, if it's 80%, that means you might get 10 minutes during the day with no rain. That's about it. But anyways, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about any of these items. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And hey, thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.